That's all.
How was the reception after the podcast?
Oh, real good. Real good.
Good.
Yeah, really good. Everybody has a story. Everybody,
Yeah.
everybody's story is just a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know. Uh,
Anything anything new with the dogs?
well, no, I'm raising up these two males, and they're really, they're really what I. It's like some of the stuff I had years ago. Which really isn't around anymore. You got like just the head types and the bodies. Everybody they talk about the heads on these oldies and Americans, and years ago they all used to have this big. We used to call it top skull. That split between the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You can go in inch and a half deep, and the stop goes straight up and down. And you don't see that very often anymore. And it's a nice, it's just that's how they were. The extreme dogs, not even the bully dogs. The extreme dogs are that way. And hey, you got a female that's bully. Well, you want to breed it to an extreme dog, you know, because bully's the way to go. Well, that's the way it was years ago. Nowadays, a lot of the oldies got the teeth sticking out, tongue hanging out the sides, droopy eyes, the sloppy look. I don't like it. Like I say, I am who I am, and back in the day, this is the style of dog that we had. You know,
Yeah.
and that's the only thing I'm gonna us. The only kind of dog I like. I like those big apple cheeks, and so I'll roll with them.
Well, I see one of your boys is getting some work in.
Yeah, yeah. I've been getting calls all over the world, really. Thailand, UK. I'm working with a
Yeah.
couple guys to get some semen over there.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, it's just dogs like that just don't really exist anymore. I mean, there may be a few out there. I haven't seen them, but I hope there is a few. You know, that would help. It's almost like when a breed gets extinct. They're not even a breed of animal. You know, like an elephant or whatever. You get down to just a few. You got to do something to maintain that style of dog. And tricky with dogs, you got to breed with what you like and what you remember. You know, a lot of people may like, the English, the little chubby dogs, and that's fine. But I can't go out and enjoy my dogs if they can't function. They're not a solid. They got to be able to handle themselves. God forbid.
Yeah.
That's just that's part of owning a big 100-pound bulldog. They have to function. That's about it. That's all I'm doing. They're like my
Yeah.
pets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any in-house plans coming?
Well, I might, I did a breeding, and I had just ended up with two female puppies, and they were beautiful. And I was really banking on keeping a male off it, but it didn't work out that way. So I might repeat that. You know, I'm doing it for me. If I had 50 puppies, I could sell all 50 puppies, no
Yeah.
problem. But I'm not into having a bunch of dogs anymore. I got this one female that's really put together, really nice, and she would complement my boys. So um, that's I'll probably maybe do that again just to get a male or two off of that and keep them. And yeah, I don't have much really going on with that.
Yeah.
With the dogs. I'm not into selling puppies, and you know, you, even to have a litter to keep one or two for yourself, you have to sell the whatever's left. And I'm not real crazy about. Last time wasn't easy. Was easy because I had a couple guys that really, really understood what
Yeah.
what they were getting, and they were like, actually, one guy flew in from Oklahoma. I met him at the airport, and the other guy, I believe, was from Kansas. He sent a shipper here, cost him arm and leg to get those dogs back. And Yeah, it was real easy. They're not hard to sell, but just I don't want to. I like to keep the blood a little bit exclusive.
Right.
That's
Probably
fine.
nice to
Huh?
probably nice to have a couple males though, just to
Yeah,
showcase what you got going. And
yeah, yeah. Hey, don't get me wrong. Like I say, if a lot of people that if they have an American Bulldog and they're not happy with, maybe they see things on. You look at a female and she's bully and she got good bone, decent bone. Um, you know, one of my dogs, would have put a crazy head on it, more extreme, put
mhm.
bone, girth. Now you get it all, pretty much. You get it all. So I had a couple of guys hit me up. Maybe we're going to do a couple American Bulldogs breeding with heavy. And basically, at the end of that, they're going to look like it's an extreme American Bulldog like we had back in the MGK days. You know, but like I said, them dogs are long and gone, long gone. But it really takes. I don't know. For me, when I was cross dogs with developing breeds and making the breed for my liking, I never had a problem doing it. If if deep down inside I thought a dog would help, I would just do it because, like I said, I did it. I do it for me. You know.
Yeah.
Uh, um, the American Bully Pit, and here's the thing. The crazy thing is some of the bulliest blood in the XL game, right, goes
Uh-huh.
back to a dog called Bear. Bear was a Hermes old bulldoggy,
Right.
and that all that blood, uh, that all that the big baller got a lot of that blood is an XO. That all comes from old bulldoggy, the old bulldog, old Hermes bulldoggy, and they chase that blood. A lot of guys chase that blood, because it's probably the bulliest blood out there, and it also retains a lot of size. Um, but that stuff gets watered down after a few generations. But I guess it was accepted back then to do it. I don't know if it's but I've had a few XO guys hit me up on it about doing some things, but I don't think they're quite there yet. I think they're still gonna try to get those big apple cheeks and the high rise and the split in the skull, that crazy uh, um, what we call that, the split in the between the eyes and all that. I mean, that there is, you're just not going to get that. That there, it has to be right there back in the pedigree. It's got to be 1, 2 generations. It's got to be there to get it. You can find a dog that even has it these days. Like I say, a lot of these features, they're hard to come by. They really are.
Right.
I don't care what breed, oldie, American, bully. Uh, every once in a while you'll see one, but it might be, you got to be careful because that might be a throwback. What I like to do with my dogs is give you 4, 5, 6 generations with the apple cheeks, with the split in the skull and all that. I like to show you the progression. You know, not just one dog that happens to have it because it's a throwback, aka it's a fluke, and then you breed to the dog and you don't get it. Wasted whatever money the stud fee was and shipping of the semen, and you didn't get what and that really sucks. You know, so you guys gotta show you 4, 5, 6 generations back that all these dogs have that type of headpiece. So now you're feeling comfortable with the blood. It's strong. It's just a strong blood that's going to throw those features.
Yeah.
You know, it's not rocket science stuff, but you got to pay attention. You just got to pay attention. Even till today, if the right dog comes down the pike, uh, and I want something right off that dog. I mean, I'm gonna jump right on it. I don't care what you call it, XL,
Yeah.
extreme, American oldie. You know, I don't. I don't, like I say, I don't put letters in front of what I like. It's Like I said, to me, they're all bulldogs.
Right. Right.
And I think that's how you make a dog that's custom to you. You know,
Yeah.
Anyway else you lock yourself into a box. Everybody chasing the same. Everybody's chasing the same thing, but nobody's getting it. Hey, but then you got the people that are happy with a 75 pound, 19-inch tall dog, and then you got the English people that like heavy English. Then you get the problems with the English. That's where the breed went, whether they want to admit it or not. No, I think it is originally what I think it was a way to get people. English bulldogs were really hot at one
Right.
time,
Yeah.
and if you had an English bulldog and you were selling it for anything less than 2,500, it was gone. They were even 25 years ago. You're paying 25 to 3,500 for an English. So I think what happened is the oldie breeders would breed these things as close to an English as they could, and knock down $1,000, 2,000, 25 a pup. I
Right.
think that had a lot to do with it. So what they would do is they would take even an oldie right back to an English, call it, is what it is. They call it an oldie, but looks like an English. So a lot of it was a money thing. And son, at the end of the day, when you got 10, 20, 30 dogs, you got to go where the money is. But at the end of the day, that breed, uh, you just kind of basically changed the standard and the look of the dogs. All the dogs started looking a lot. Uh, even in sometimes the only thing that those dogs even look like in English sometimes was in the face with the big underbite, but the body still really never got to be like an English. So even the people that saved $1,000 didn't get what they wanted either. So nobody really won. You know, the oldie shouldn't look like an English. It's a different dog. But everybody has a different idea what they should look like. Even me. But back 25 years ago, I remember what they looked like. That's what we had. We didn't have the English, that English heavy on the English. So you get something now where maybe gives people a different look at a dog, and they can look at the dog for what it is, and it gives them another option. And I've talked about this too, like with a bunch of people, and even with the bully game and the American bullies,
Yeah.
uh, oldies Americans, everybody wants a freak.
Yeah.
Everybody wants that extremely thick, massive, bully, blocky, boned up dog. I don't care what breed, oldie, American, XL, extreme, standard, pocket. Even in pockets. Everybody wants that big, wide, big head. So everybody wants. That's what sells. That's what sells. That stuff. That stuff that's lighter bone and maybe has a tad better conformation. That stuff don't sell. You look at the XL game. Everything's extreme. How big? How big is the dog? It's 240 pounds. He's 21 inches. Everything. How big's the head? Oh, the head's 30 inches.
Yeah.
That's what people want. You can't fight it. You can't. Oh, you shouldn't like that because it says it has a big head. Doesn't mean it doesn't have anything wrong with it. The people that are buying the dogs for a lot of money are buying the stats. Is what it is. You're going to change how the game is played. Nobody's got me, you. Nobody's going to change what people are paying for. That's what they want. That's what the people want. And they have a handful of people that say, "Hey, I want something that's going to run 25 miles and this that." You may have a few people like that, and if you're one of those people, you can get the dogs cheap because that's not what's bringing the big money. You know, I know with those
Yeah.
XLs. I know that's the only thing that brings money is how girthy the dog is and how big is the head and how big is the spread. They don't care about anything else. You know.
Well, look at these pockets. Like the ones that are winning shows aren't bringing in the same kind of money as the ones that are on the outside of the ring doing these stack offs, the extreme standards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boys that are
Yeah.
the 80, 90 pound
Yeah.
freaks. Those, I heard one guy give a stat. He had sold like 50 stud credits in less than a
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the way it is. The way it
And
is.
and he and he wouldn't even get a ribbon if he went in the ring.
Yeah. It's always been like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Always, always been like that. You know.
yeah,
The standard for American Bulldog. Some of the dogs we had didn't. Well, they fit the standard, but when you get them boned up and that thick, massive, and you know, they're not gonna move around like a dog that's 30 pounds lighter, and they're more powerful than big dogs, and they're more like a nose tackle on a football team instead of a wide receiver style dog. And those are the ones that people want, man. And it is what it is. I like that kind of dog. I like my bulldogs to be thick and girthy and massive, and I like all that. I just, you can't, you just can't go and buy a puppy from somebody, American or oldie. You can't, there's a couple people out there that, well, you got a pretty goddamn good shot at getting something really nice, man. They really do. But boy, you got to be lucky too, even with them, because you got to make sure you get the picks. You got to make sure you pick off the nose of the litter, and then you got to make sure the dog turns out. So it's no guarantee.
no,
No guarantee. You can spend 3,500 on the puppy. Um, then you ship the puppy for another 700, 800. So now you're into the dog for 4,800. You get that dog to a year. You could throw a couple more stacks on top. Forget about your time, and you might not turn out. Right?
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
not turn out. Maybe. So it's a big investment, man, and you got to cut your chances. I tell people you got to cut your chances on the odds that you're going to get something nice, and it starts right from what's behind the parents and the parents itself, and what pick you're going to get,
Yeah,
and do you even know how to pick a dog that you want? You know what I mean? Are you even going to pick the right one? Maybe you picked the wrong one. You know,
yeah.
even when you breed them yourself, you still got to pick. I keep it with me now. If I did a litter, if there was 4 males, I'd keep them all, and I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait to make sure that I maybe start one at a time. That I say, oh yeah, this one's fading a little bit. These I can see the front runners, and maybe one or two will turn out. You know, they should. My breedings, they should. They should. I got high expectations. Sometimes I expect more all the time, but I'm never too far off. This last litter I had, the two females that were in there, they were gorgeous, gorgeous, and I just wish they had balls, but they didn't. I wouldn't have sold neither of them. I would have kept them. They would have been in my yard right now, raising them up. They would have been better than their father. It would have been better than the father. I could tell by looking at the female. I could tell by looking at these two female girls what the males would have looked like. Just, I could see it. Yeah.
Is it because you don't want to breed as much that you're just looking for more mainly males?
Well, you know what it is with me.
Hmm.
I get a kick out of you know. I get a kick out of crazy looking, massive bulldogs, and
Yeah,
I don't mind feeding 20 of them and taking care of them and get their heartworm medicine and get their Lyme disease medicine and get their flea and tick stuff and buy the marrow bones. I mean, it's expensive. I don't mind doing it for dogs that I like the way that they look.
hmm
You know what I mean? I don't mind if I had 5 males out there, all looking 100 pounds, 19 inches tall, 27-inch head, crazy apple cheeks, crazy chest spread, crazy bone. I'll feed them all day long. I, you know, you start fooling around with females coming in and out of heat. The males are going crazy. It ruins the whole yard, as far as I'm concerned. For me, but like I said, I don't do this for a business. You know, I do this for, um, I do this because I enjoy looking at big, massive dogs and
Yeah.
uh, having special blood that not everybody has or could even get a hold of it anymore.
Yeah.
Pretty much, this stuff's pretty exclusive. Do these 2 males that I got? And, I got a female that's their half sister. That's the blood's real exclusive, and you know, I got them, and I got a handful of people wanting to use the dogs, set me lock-ins on the dogs, and I don't push it. I don't push them. I put my pictures up, and uh, now I think I'm at the stage now where I might even slow down on studying them out because I was thinking the other day, hey, what do I? Everybody to have it? Really? Like, what's going to make my dog special if I breed them like 20 times in the next year, and there's all these dogs popping up, and they look just like what I got? What makes, you know what I mean? I was very reasonable on my stud fees. I was real reasonable on it. So I might, I was thinking about just closing them, and unless it's, a really good offer, uh, because they're at that point. They're getting big, and they're really, impressive. I'm real happy with them too. I'm
Mhm.
lucky. Uh, I know I'm lucky because they didn't have to turn out to look like that. You know, I'm hot on them. I brag on them, but one thing, like the people that know me, he says it's true.
Yeah.
Because you can't promote a dog that ain't right. You can't do it. Because people, I see the picture of the dog. You can tell by. That's why I do a lot of videos so they get a good look. I like videos way better. You could get a nice angle on a dog, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you can see a lot more in a video. And I don't use crazy numbers. Hey, they're 100 pounds. They're not more than 100 pounds. Concrete's like 95 pounds. Heavy's maybe a little over 100. No crazy numbers. Heads are over 26 out a year, which is crazy. But they should pop. They can get. There's blood behind these guys. 27, 28. Now, I don't know if we'll hit that. Time will tell.
Mhm.
But yeah, in the oldie community, man, you're walking around with a dog with 27-inch head, man. Let me tell you something. Like I say it again, there may be some out there. Never say there's not, but I haven't seen it. You know, that's and that's where the game is played. Everybody, like I said, everybody wants that big block head, and if you don't use the stud, how many studs out there got a 26, 27-inch head? I heard there's a couple of 26s out there. Okay, but do they have the spread? Do they have the bone? Do they have the split in the skull? Do they have the apple cheeks? Do they have the tight bites? That I have the tight eyes. They don't have the droopy eyes like Goofy on what's that? Mickey Mouse with the eyes hanging down. So, like I said, you can't ain't just how big the head is, man. There's a lot to it. You know,
Right.
there's a lot to it because you give me a dog with a 28-inch head with the teeth sticking out, I don't want it. I don't want it
Yeah.
unless I take it golfing. I can put the golf ball on the underbite and use it as a tee. You know what I mean? I don't want that. That's a sloppy look. It's a sloppy look, man.
Right. Right.
know, I, and then I see some of them with the tongues coming out the side of their mouth. So what the hell's going on there? They got wide draw, and like I said, I want a nice tight looking dog. I like an American, I like an American bulldog look with that head.
Right.
But I like, show the muscle, nice tight coat. But then again, I'm a fucking fanatic.
Yeah.
What is I'm nuts. Hey, no, a lot of that, that's falling off because
Yeah.
they're falling off because where the big heads come from. It wasn't from
No.
American Bully, right? Because somebody put something in it, right?
Yeah, it was American Bulldog, probably,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, your American Bulldog. So maybe some Mastiff blood, chop
Yeah.
in back in there, chop the legs down with some English, or
Yeah.
you know, and you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But and it gets watered down until it's gone. That's like I say. People get mad at me when I say this, but it's sometimes you gotta be honest. That's what happened with the American Bulldog. Shit that we had in the '90s, man. They, they're not like that no more.
What do you
Couple guys got it, but very
what
few.
What do you think happened? What was the
Well, no, that's easy. See that whole story of why I think it happens is easy. It
uh
makes a lot of sense. And this is exactly what happened. John, the original American Bulldog was a hog dog, right? That's
mm-hmm.
all it was. It was a farm utility dog. Okay, that part of the story is true. Okay, that's what they were, right? John D. Johnson, he put some old bulldog in it. Then he put a dog in it. It's in the pedigrees. West Chance High Hope, and crossed in some bulldogs, oldies bulldogs, right? Some even he blended in some Levitt's dog in there, right? So the dogs coming out of John D's yard. Then he used some type of mastiff, John D, to make a huge. He called it American Bull Johnson American Bulldog. He had bulldog, he had mastiff, and a lot of American Bulldog, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, So that's where the original bully American Bulldog came, John D's yard, right? Now everything came off of there a few generations out. You had Bulldog, right? From John
Yeah.
D. Introducing it into the line. And every generation, what percentage was the Bulldog, right? Think about it. The first generation is quite a bit, second and third is less and less and less. The further you go out, unless you're line breeding on these bully dogs, unless then the dogs are going to get really super small. But
Mm-hmm.
if you don't, every generation out, you're losing what he did. You're losing when he introduced the oldie into the line, Mean Machine line, Bulldozer Bull line. There was English and oldies right behind them. A dog called Bulldozer Bo. He had a lot of offspring that were crazy, but they had a Mean Machine line. So every generation away from that, the dogs got less bully. You ended
Mm-hmm.
up with the most dominant percentage of dog, which was the Alabama hog dog, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
granted, um, they may be bullier than the Alabama hog dog today, and you're going to get guys that have like a throwback. There'll be a couple in the litter. It's just less and less. Every generation out, it gets less and less and less. It does. And then even the ones that are really bully, or I won't say really bully, the ones that are bully, sometimes the bodies ain't right. They're real straight in the front. It might be muscular, but they'll be not a real wide set because the gene of the bulldog is so far away. If you don't reintroduce it, you lose the look. Now, if you reintroduce it, they say, but now it's not an American bulldog. Okay, now what?
Mm-hmm.
Now what? So let me show you. I'll show you an American bulldog from the '90s, and I'm going to show you the stuff for today. Now, why is the stuff from the '90s an American bulldog, and this is the same dog as today? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
here's the other thing: there's a lot of people that did cross oldie into their American and papered them.
Right.
There's some today, which hey, I'm okay with. I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't care what people do, but if you do see them bully that are like 18, 19 inches in bully, there's oldie in that. And does it look good? Hell yeah. And would
Mm-hmm.
I do it? I would do it, but I would do it, but I wouldn't call them American Bulldog because I think you lose. I think the dog's just as valuable by being honest. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd be
Mm-hmm.
afraid me you know, and like I say, there's a few guys that got some nice, really nice dogs. They are, but there's not many. And like I say, if you tried to buy one, you got to get first pick and hope everything clicks. And that, and these dogs ain't cheap.
Right.
Hey, it's a big investment for a guy. Especially a guy with kids and a family. Say, "Mom, hey, hon, I'm gonna, pay $3,000 for this puppy. It's gonna cost me $800 to get it shipped, and then you get it here, and then you get it, and the thing ends up with a 4-inch muzzle. It has a chest like a goat, and you're like, Jesus Christ,
Huh.
what did I do? What did I do?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what happens 90% of the time. You know, Usually the breeder keeps the good ones, the ones that are because if you have a good female and a good male, there's a high percentage of that bulldog in there, and it clicks when you do the breeding. The way the
Mhm.
genetics click, you might see one or two in there, and then
Mhm.
they usually know, hey, this is the cream of the crop. These might, they don't even sell them ones. You know what I mean? So it ain't like you could really go out and just buy one. You kind of have to breed it yourself.
Right.
But back in the day, shit, we'd have a whole litter of them. There was that Mountain Gator kennel stuff. Dogs, the dogs he had. Now he was right off John D's yard. You see what I was explaining to you?
Yeah.
That was right off John D's yard. So the bulldog was right there. It was 1, 2 generations back. Dogs like come out of his yard, 80, 85 pounds. That was his name. Brahma the bull. Had T Rex, Mufasa, Bam Bam, Half Acre. Those old MGK dogs. Bam Bam was 95-pound dog, maybe 21 inches tall. You know, and then Doozy, which I believe was Bam Bam's litter mate, and he bred it to a big dog named Gator. Got all those Gator Doozy dogs. Um, that's why the dogs are different. Today, you don't see no Bam Bams, Doozies, and T Rex, and Brahma the Bulls, and Mufasas. You don't see that stuff. So you don't see a dog. Now you can see it again, but you're gonna have to do how they got it. And they put bulldog in there. And now in 2024, you know how far back that bulldog is?
How far?
Uh, Over 30-something years.
Wow.
So it's diluted. It's diluted. You know that's what happens. And like I like to I repeat myself, but because I know I am in my mind, there's a couple good dogs out there that I see online that look really nice. Um, maybe a little taller than the stuff that I'm talking about. Because the sweet spot back in our day was around 20 to 23 inches. But now, because usually the taller dogs weren't that as bully they had more of a
Yeah.
mass
Yeah.
influence, you know. But we're really picking. I really pick fucking dogs apart. That's my biggest problem in my mind. I don't see it to people, but I always know when you get up around 24, 25 inches, they don't look right. That's the other
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
You lose. See, as soon as you say the word bulldog, what's your first? It's a short, wide dog, right?
Right.
It's a mastiff, and it's a tall dog. So just if you don't have that bulldog up front, like they did years ago, you start ending up with the taller dog's going to dominate, and the narrower fronts are going to dominate. And then you're going to get some breedings that it all clicks. You know what I mean? And then you know sometimes you don't even know it. That's the other problem. Sometimes you get stuff that clicks and you didn't, really weren't expecting it.
Right.
But I always believed like with the Americans when I was doing it, um, it seemed like it, it, when you bred the dog, sometimes when I say clicks, it's like these dogs got so much stuff behind them. Some of it's real bully, and some of it isn't. Some's mediocre. And so when you got the male and the female, when you breed them, it seems like if the real bully gene hits the female and her bully gene dominates that puppy, then that puppy, it's going to be way more bully than another puppy in the same litter because there's so much stuff in that's washed down. You might have more like a hybrid type. You know what I mean? And when
Mm-hmm.
that puppy doesn't have the same genetic as the other puppy, because the way it clicked, it's like a weird thing. You'd have to look at the litter sometime. And we bred a dog. I had a dog, Crunch, and we bred it to a dog named Mercy. She was at a Watchdog Kennels. She was a Watchdog Caesar female, and he was wide chested and low and wide. And Crunch was not as bully as her. He was a bully bastard back in the day for that era. And we did the breeding, and we got one puppy. No, I'm sorry, I'm wrong, I'm lying. That litter didn't turn out good. Didn't turn out good. We didn't get a dog as good as her or good as him.
Mm-hmm.
They were good, but they weren't what we thought, right? And then we did another breeding with a female that was nowhere near as nice as the girl dog name was Mercy, right? We did another breeding, and the litter, she wasn't that nice. I wasn't expecting much. We did it, and the whole litter was shit, right?
Yeah.
There was one spectacular dog in it. Smoked our whole yard. And we're trying to figure out, like, how do we go from a mediocre litter to a fucking superstar?
Yeah.
A superstar. There's a superstar in here. So that makes me think, okay, they all have the same genetic makeup, right? Same two dogs, but it's how it clicked. That particular puppy, they both had bullies and pedigrees, but the bully gene and the way the genetics hit, it just clicked. It hit different. It hit different. And that dog came out. That dog was fucking. That dog today would be crazy. There was a dog named, I think I got pictures of it. A dog named Cody. He went up to Swansea, Mass, to Mighty Max. He got sold up there, but yeah, that's what I know about those litters. How they those American Bulldogs litters are a little funny. I was talking to a guy the other day who wants to swap me a male for a female. He got a male off a top kennel, American Bulldog kennel, one of the top studs out there, right? And the mom looked good, and she come out of real good stuff. Sends me a video with the dog, right? He paid
Mm-hmm.
$5K for the dog, and the dog's tall, doesn't have the mass, the girth, decent dog, but I just kind of reinforced what I've always thought, don't mean shit. Don't mean shit if it don't click,
Mm-hmm.
and then if the bulldog's not right behind it to give you that kick. And I think people think that when you do that, it cheapens the dog. That's their theory. Maybe that's what they think. But at the end of the day, you don't get what you want, right? If
Right.
you do right, like me, I wouldn't be sitting on that style dog that I have if I followed everybody else's lead. You know, you know. Well, how would I start you know, even an American Bulldog program, right? I'm never going to get extreme dogs with heads up. And not to be a little bit cocky about it, right? Just show me the dogs with the heads like that. That's all I ask for. I just want proof, man. If they're
Yeah.
out there, I want to see it. And if they're out there, I want to buy a pup and I want to take her to my guys. If you got heads like this, then I want to buy a puppy from you and I want to take it to my dogs,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like I say, there's a few guys I see some nice males out there. But then again, you start looking at some of the offsprings, not quite looking as nice as the daddy. And I don't want to be in that position, you know? you know, 2 years later, waiting for the dog to pop, and it never does. You know, now I'm 70, right?
Yeah.
You know, I don't got that much time left. I can't be waiting 2 years on a dog that's not. You can see it's not going to get there. You know, dude, I want it. I want it now.
Yeah.
You know, but then again, I'm a little cuckoo when it comes to these dogs. You know, I like what I like, and man, if it ain't something that I like, I don't fool with it.
Right.
You still got your Frenchies?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
huh?
yeah. Yep.
Nice. My daughter got one. Cool.
Yeah, they're great little dogs. I know why people like them so much now.
Yeah, for sure.
They all three have different personalities.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, man, I got to get out there and get these guys. I'm setting up some pens in the garage.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, because there's supposed to
Yeah.
be 100-degree heat and humidity, and I'm gonna be out on my boat, so I don't want to have to worry about them because sometimes they spat through the kennel.
Yeah. Yeah.
The two boys. So I'll put them separate in the garage.
What do
They'll-
you use? Misters or air conditioner
no,
or what?
no, no. In my garage, it's just concrete floor with no sun coming in.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
sand in there if needed,
Uh huh.
and big 5 gallon ice bucket. I'll put a big chunk of ice in it before I leave. Then I gotta, and they're fine. They don't need much. I mean, they're clean breathers and all that. The thing is, when you get that extreme heat, you can't leave any kind of dog out in it.
No.
Not,
Yeah.
not even a bulldog. You know what I mean? It's just
No.
that's just dog 101. Just don't leave them out like that. And yeah, you just take precautions. That's all. Plus the heat's coming on quick. There's no acclimation time. This is beginning of mid June.
Yeah.
We're hitting 100-degree heat, so the dogs aren't acclimated yet either. That's big.
That's pretty early for you guys, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know how these other states do it, man. But they get heat like this 6 months out of the year.
Yeah, it
I
stays
don't,
pretty humid here until about October.
where were you?
Outside of Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel that. I heard you. So you have a. I heard you had a couple of French bulldogs or something like that, like two.
I have
I heard.
I have I have three.
Oh, okay. You have three.
Yeah.
Have you ever like done like the main reason I was calling? I was just wondering if you ever heard of like something called the 4-panel DNA test or whatever.
Yeah. Is that through either UC Davis or Animal Genetics, right?
Oh yeah, I did mine through UC Davis. I live in Sacramento, California, so I'm like kind of close to it. So it's like it was kind of like I found out about it like really fast once I bought my first French bulldog because I just got my first French bulldog like probably a couple months ago, and I got it from a breeder near me, so he was in Sacramento also, and I didn't really know much about the breed, but like when I was like maybe like a couple years ago, I first started breeding with Chihuahuas. I had my first litter,
Uh
and
huh.
I had two die um, because they had parvo. So like that right there, like made me stop kind of because it was a lot. Cause like I didn't
Yeah.
really know much about. I just like when they got sick, I took them to the nearest like emergency vet. And they're like, it's gonna be like 10,000 to for us to help you or whatever. So I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I didn't have insurance or anything. I didn't know much about breeding. It was just like I got two dogs and one just got pregnant. So it was like I don't know. But so I ended up buying my first French bulldog, and I seen your interview with Heather McPherson,
Uh huh.
and that initially got me started and stuff. So I was like looking at that, and I ended up testing my dog, and it came back that he had two copies of CDDY. I don't know if you heard of that.
Yeah.
And she has like the only information you can really find when it comes to French bulldogs and that disease IVDD. So it's like I don't know. Since he has those two copies, it says like if you breed them, it will pass 100% CDDY to the offspring. So like I'm like a new breeder with the French bulldogs, like trying to do it the right way. So it's like I paid $3K for this dog, and that was like a lot of money that I had to save up. So I was like, I don't know if I should keep breeding, if I should start breeding with him, or if I should just find like another dog or something to start my litter or like kennel.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough question. There's a lot to unpack on that.
Yeah, I
Um,
know.
because it's such a tough issue. But you would probably, you got a male, right? So you're looking to stud out, or you looking to get a female eventually.
I was gonna get a female from it was like it was like someone in my area also bred a dog with Heather McPherson, and they're having a litter coming up. I was planning on getting one of those because like they're like health tested, like for a lot of diseases or whatever. So I was gonna go rock with that, but I don't know like if it's even worth with him because like I've seen what the IVDD was. It says they can like paralyze the dog, and like that's just crazy to me. Like,
I would start hitting up, like, I could compile some information on some people that you might want to listen to.
okay,
Um, they're geneticists, and you might want to also shoot them emails,
okay.
um, because they have kind of a different perspective on health testing and some of the disorders. Uh, is everything else good with the dog?
Yeah, like I have his I ordered his pedigree from AKC, and so I was able to find like like the past litters that like led up to him being born or made or whatever. And I found one of the studs, and he looked healthy and everything. Like I looked back into like a lot of the pedigree and just made sure like to see like because if they have the CDDY, I'm expecting that the like past like before him had it also if it's passing it down. So like none of the dogs that I found had any histories of having like severe IVDD because he apparently there's two types of IVD from what I've been researching. Like there's one that's called stage one, which is basically just a DNA test. Like, and people say like, oh, even if like the DNA test comes back that he has that CDY copy or whatever gene trait, whatever it is, that doesn't really mean anything because it's just like a DNA swab. It's not much to tell you like what the dog actually is like physically. Like it'll tell you what it is, but like I don't know how to explain it. It's weird. Like they said like you like they say CDY is linked to IVDDs. Like the only research that they have of that those two is in another dog called the Dachshund or something because they have long backs and short legs. That's basically what the gene is. Like it says that like if you breed this dog with something, it'll make their legs shorter. Like 100% of the offspring's legs shorter by 10%. But like they have this thing called Chick on OFA where they check for the spine, the hips, and they have like evaluations you could take your dog to get like evaluate to see if he actually has IVDD. So like there's two types of IVD, and the other IVDD is the one that comes with old age. So it's like I'm unpacking a lot of stuff and trying to figure out like if that's actually something that like occurs like within like because in his past on his pedigree when I look at it, none of the dogs have any like issues. Like they're like 6 years old, 7 years old, and they like walk around normal. Like there's videos that I found on Instagram, like just looking through the litter, it's got to go back and stuff. So I don't know. It's just a lot. I don't know, but I probably would have to contact some more people to find out what the best route is. If I should actually stop or and find something different, or if I can continue with him because I really like everything that he carries. Like I even did a color test, and he has like all the original bulldog colors. Like he has tan, dilute, like he's a dilute fawn. So it's like, and I tested for Merle and albinism, and he has none of that. So, and I did the other four DNA health tests, like in the panel, like when you do all four of them, they all came back normal, and I submitted those to OFA too. So I'm just trying to figure out if I can just keep, like, I don't know, because I really like him. Like I want to like more puppies like from him. So I don't know.
Yeah, I would definitely like get a bunch of compile a bunch of information and then definitely do the OFA or pin hip with the spine and all that. Get the spine tested, get that
Yeah,
looked at.
like if I did check it, all of it came back passing like normal or like excellent or like whatever it comes back, like if it's better than normal, I just wonder if I could keep going. If his like everything comes back, because that's like actually showing like his spine, like his hips and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
not just a DNA swab test of his mouth saying he has
yeah.
this copy that which links to this. And the research that they did on CDDY that links to IVDD to it is in a whole nother dog breed, according to crowd pleasers. So
There's some things about the French bulldogs that make them unique. There are several different little things that make their spine issue worse,
yeah,
and so when they're afflicted with it, they're having to deal with these other issues like the shape of their hips. Their I don't know exactly the science behind it,
yeah,
but then you're either short backs and then just their girth on their frame. All
yeah,
these things combined just
yeah,
make the
yeah,
problem worse. And so
yeah.
where my struggle is with people doing these health tests and going to the nth degree with these health tests and then parading around their um, clear tests,
Yeah.
you can't expect a whole lot from you testing through these disorders when your dog is built on mutations in an extreme. It's built to an extreme standard, and
Mm-hmm.
there's gonna be problems because of this.
Okay.
And it's either we put up with these problems, right, and we or we try to fix them.
Yeah.
Health testing is not going to change this fact.
Yeah.
Excluding dogs that say have 2 copies of CDDY from the gene pool is not going to preserve a breed. It's just
Yeah.
not. That's a
Okay.
phony. That's a phony baloney way of looking at things.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is now that you know that your dog has 2 copies, right? You don't
Yeah.
want to breed it to another dog that has 2 copies, and maybe you don't even want to breed it to another dog that has 1 copy.
Mm-hmm.
So you try to find a dog that's clear. You,
Yeah,
you
but
feel what you feel what I'm saying? If you don't want to exclude him out, if he ticks all the other boxes and he's healthy on
mm-hmm.
all other levels, let's say he's got great hips, great elbows, are you going to want to get rid of that out of the
Yeah,
gene
no,
pool?
no,
And so here, but this is a decision that you have to make on a personal. You know what I mean. I'll never like suggest, but I'm just
no.
saying that you can health test all you want with these dogs. It's not going to change the fact that they have short backs and cobby bodies that lead to problems down the line. It may not be uh, it may not be IVDD, but they may
Mm-hmm.
have pinched nerves in their back by the time they're 4 or 5 because of the mutations that
Uh,
they're automatically bred with.
yeah.
So so the idea, in my opinion, is either we breed to a healthier standard or we put up with what we have. And I don't care about your health tests. I really don't. It's a
Mm-hmm.
good tool. It's a good tool. I'm not going to exclude a dog from the gene pool if it has good qualities on all other levels because
Yeah.
it has copies of this. Now, if I talk to some specialists or whatever and they say, hey, this dog's spine, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? Then
Yeah.
of course I'm gonna take their word for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna base all of my decisions off of these genetic tests. You know what I mean? And Um, there's just a lot to learn about this, and
Yeah.
people are fooling themselves.
You know what's interesting though? When I've been researching, they said the original French bulldog had there was like 0% CDDY or whatever IDDY, and now like there's over 90 and like 91% in the French bulldogs now that they have CDDY. Like if you test for it, which is
Why do you
weird.
think that is?
They said well, according to Heather McPherson, I was reading her articles, and she said like her most recent one was like probably like a month ago. She posted. She said that they could come from a cream dog, apparently. I think, or it could be like an outcross or something to like another dog or something.
Well, you know what every geneticist says under the planet right now is the fact that these dogs are short and cobby, so they got their spines are not they need to be longer.
Yeah.
So when you say do you look at a 50-50 French Bulldog Boston Terrier cross, a Frenchton, right? Look
Yeah.
how much longer they are and more streamlined athletic they are. They're not short and cobby.
Yeah.
They got straighter fronts, longer legs, longer body. That leads to a healthier dog.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, it's not the desirable look. It's not the look that is going to bring us the $2,500 stud credit. It's not the desirable look that's going to win ribbons. But it's either we put up with the health issues that come along with these dogs that give us the higher price tag and win us
Uh,
ribbons, or we breed to a healthier standard. You can't have both ways.
oh, okay.
And that's just my opinion. This is just where I'm from. This is the soapbox that I'm on.
Yeah.
It's like, let's breed to a healthier standard. Let's try to lessen these diseases that French bulldogs are rife with at the moment, like IBDD.
Hmm.
And even if that means that we have to go to an outcross, a healthier outcross, let's do it. Otherwise, we got to put up with it. So you're going to utilize all these health tests, and it's not going to rid the problem. You're going to exclude all these dogs out of your gene pool because maybe it has a longer snout or a longer body, and you don't
Yeah.
want to mix it. You don't want to use that because it doesn't fit the style that wins ribbons or garnishes you the $6,000 puppy feed. But does it garnish you a healthier dog?
Yeah, I'd rather have a healthier dog than looks.